my gosh. It worked again. I'm shocked. There's no notification of me going live, you guys. I'll just hang out, wait, see if anyone shows up. It's super duper late. Okay, let's see if anybody's here. Y'all should be sleeping. I'm so tired, but this has been such a huge discovery today that I have to go live and get this recorded so I don't forget it, because I'm going to wake up tomorrow and my brain is going to be mush, and it's going to be like, what is this stuff? This doesn't even make sense to me. Okay, oh my gosh, you're here. I love you guys. You guys are so awesome. So awesome. It's so late. Hi, you guys. Oh my gosh. I know. It's super late. Go to bed. You guys, this is not going to be a fun reading. It's, this has been such a monster full moon Aquarius. There's so many threads going on in the background. I really nailed it in this one regard. Oh my God, with the elections. That was a huge thing. But then, of course, there were two major events today, and I had to go look. And, of course, you know whose big fat fingerprints are all over it. So this is a little bit disturbing in some respect. But before you go to bed, here's a feel-good or coincidence type of story. So the last live reading I did, I shared with you guys my grandpa's medal from World War II and how I kind of carried it with me this summer. Oh, and my hands are super dirty, gross. Worked in the yard a ton today, so I don't want to hear any comments. World War II. Freedom from fear and want. Freedom of speech and religion. 1941 to 1945. And so yesterday I was unpacking more stuff. I found some amazing things that were my grandmother's. I didn't even know. These were packed away in things that were from my mom that never got unpacked after my grandma died. But some of you might have seen some pieces like this. This is like a porcelain dish. I didn't really think much of it until I turned it over to look at the stamp. And it says Occupied Japan. Do you see that? Just so weird because today's the anniversary of dropping the nuclear bomb. I find this last night. It's also Barack Obama's birthday. Occupy Japan. This is when General MacArthur took the reins of disarming Japan. And part of disarming them and getting them back and integrated with the world was that Japan produced, just toys, little knickknacks here and there. This is one of those things. And in order for them to be able to sell it, they had to put the stamp on here, Occupy Japan, so that people knew if they wanted to buy the product, it came under disarmament. So I found a couple of these pieces. I'm just kind of blown away, the stuff that's happening. So it's late night. Yes, I'm sleepy, and I'm just trying to retain all this information in my brain. How are you guys? You guys are awesome. I'm so glad you're here. If you need to leave and go to bed, go to bed. That's fine. I will not be offended. This is not going to be, I'm going to be sloppy tonight. Yes, Nancy, I did see that the oligarch in Ohio was indicted. Mob arrests are rolling. That oligarch, though, I was a little surprised because I feel like this wasn't like a pure arrest. I need to find out more information about it. But that guy, despite his connections, the way I read it was that he would not meet with the White House and Donald Trump as far as trying to get dirt on Biden. He wouldn't meet with Rudy. So it just kind of seems retaliatory in nature, and or take the heat off the GOP for all of their Ohio problems. It's just really early. Yeah, I need some sleep if it's this early. Hi, Linda M. Oh, Beth Knight was born in occupied Japan. Nice. Yeah, so I found a couple of other pieces. This was like a huge surprise for me. So this is my not fancy reading. I'm just so tired, but I will not sleep unless I do this. And I feel like Spirit has had me tethered closely where I'm doing this thing again, where I'm just like nonstop check-ins because I was supposed to get some more information. So this full moon that we had yesterday, where is it? Where is it? I got to take this out. This full moon we had yesterday over Washington, D.C. at noon is very perked my interests. It had my attention right away. The sun, so if this is in the middle of the day, the sun is about ready to reach its highest point. So it's way up here in this 10th house, the public skies. It's going to reach its highest point soon. The moon is exactly opposite here, in this area, the 4th house, United States, defense of the U.S. This is what gets me. On the ascendant, the thing that's giving life to this chart for the week is Libra, so it's ruled by Venus, so you expect to hear moneyed news. Things related to justice, Department of Justice. It has my attention for a couple reasons. Number one, it is squaring the January 10th full moon eclipse. That was 2 days before the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. So it will trigger that. Oh, I need to I was thinking about this. I just want to let you guys know. I know that we are technically out of eclipse weather, but then I remembered we started the summer, the first day of summer, with a new moon solar eclipse. So summer ruled by the sign of Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. It's eclipse energy is active all summer long. That's just it. So, because I was like, oh, maybe we're going to get out of this jolty, triggery eclipse. No. All the lunations are really going to matter. So I realized that, and then I'm like, and we are hitting this eclipse click point with the Uranian planet Zeus here on the ascendant. The god of gods, kings, the ruler. Now, those of you that have been with me for a while, my super smart, attentive viewers, followers, you guys, I love how far you guys have come with astrology. And I know there's some of you that are still kicking and screaming about, it's fine. I try to tell things in a story in a way that just makes sense so you don't have to have any background. But at the midheaven, the sun's highest point, we have 23 degrees Cancer there. That is, oh, now I mixed it up last time. So 23 Cancer is it's either exactly Donald Saturn or exactly his Venus. I mixed them up last time and now I can't remember. So that's exactly conjunct. So it's going to be about money. It's going to be about authority. Then we have Mercury, the messenger, communications. I was thinking about his kids when I first saw this, because at the beginning of the year, January 1st, the Mercury and the North Node were conjunct the midheavens. So, like, his kids are just screaming in my head when I first saw this. Well, that's at 27 degrees Cancer. When you look at the midpoint, 23 to 27, the in-between point, that's 25 degrees. That's another one of his planets is getting the squish, his Venus, Saturn. And then we have Saturn opposite Mercury. Authority, regime, obstacles, opposite the people. Mercury, home, towns, villages. And then here, what's bearing down the gravitational force beneath Washington, D.C., we have Pluto Saturn. Remember the Pluto Saturn conjunction? The change in world powers that happened January 12th. So those are the first two things that stood out to me. I thought Donald's teroscope was very peculiar. Oh, here's another thing. The Yod, the finger of God, destiny. That was on the Ascendant. Last week, it moved. I think the Yod was down here. No, it was up here in his hopes and wishes and dreams. So he had last week a dream and a hope and a wish with maybe a friend to have a destiny type of thing happen. Well, now it's on the Ascendant. That's what's giving him life. He also has this sign of Cancer, I feel. So that's like when he's getting something and he's like kind of being nurtured or fed by this thing he thinks he's going to get. And then we have the Queen of Wands and the Moon. The other thing that really caught my eye down here in this area of defenses, we have the asteroid Chiron again, which is the wound that nobody can heal but yourself. The pain. That life just kind of kicks you around until you figure out how to heal your deepest wound. This was here last week as well. So there's all this pain he's dealing with. And it's almost like, and now with his opposition or his partner, he is going to assert his will with a partner against his opposition. So I'm like, what is coming into focus this week? What is he planning to do against a group of people? Because last week, him asserting his will was down here in communications. So his partnership, they've communicated and come up with a plan. Finger of God's going to happen. And what's crowning Washington, D.C.? It's going to happen in abundance. So that is what the setting was. With this full moon, there's a lot more stuff going on over in this, but I just want to try to parse it down and just keep it to the simple, easy things. Now, the other things that caught my attention, Donald had this for his identity and who he is right here, the devil. That's usually Putin, it's Bar. I've never seen Donald outright say, I'm the devil, and he's going to assert his will. Things giving him life, something super, super duper emotional, and something with, North Korea, China, Russia. So that's what's on his mind with this full moon. Putting something into place that's destiny and he's the devil. The other thing that happened with this chart, here we go once again. None of these houses are communicating. We saw that with the op around the time of George Floyd. And remember, they were planning to, there were the protests, but then they had their instigators blend in with Black Lives Matter protesters. That was the same thing. None of these houses were communicating. It was like the stage was set. They're ready to go. So these things really bothered me. So that part is that. Let me check in with you guys really quick. Hi, you guys. I can't believe there's 87 of you guys up right now. Hi, all. Asantua. Got that? Terry, hi Terry. Not a whole lot. This is just really casual because I have to get this story out of my brain before I can go to bed because I just went through a bunch of stuff and I want to make sure I get it documented. Hi, Night Owls. Yeah. It's okay, Impish. So, hello. Okay, very good. Love to all of you. Okay, Denise, please go to bed. Go to bed. This is kind of, I'm just trying to get my thoughts out. This is not like a really, it's just a lot of information I have to get out. So, anyway. Oh, good, I got it right. So that was the full moon. And so here I've been just kind of diligently going along, kind of watching what's happening, getting ready for a lot of planets to shift. Like we have Mercury going into Leo. We're going to have Venus going into Cancer. We're having some weird opposition. So it's like the pace is going to really be picking up this month. Not so much about chaos as, being on your toes. Like things have to shift quickly. So in your lives, day to day, this week, oh my gosh, please, please, please. Take it easy. Rest when you need to rest. It's very important that we keep your blood nice and thin. We do not want it to coagulate because blood is going to have a hard time through the rest of the year the way it's angled. And at the Leo new moon, we are going to have to address blood and heart. I just remembered that. So we're going to get a leg up on that by taking really good care of our blood. There are some herbs that people take to help cleanse their blood. I am not an expert on that. I am not a doctor. I'm just saying, if that's something that you do, this is a good time to try to get up on that. Where after the full moon, the body will do well with that. But the most important thing is the quality of your blood this next 6 months. And I also think the way the COVID virus is behaving, it's going to, I don't want to say it's going to mutate, but people are going to be, I guess, like experiencing it differently. Whereas we've been seeing so much respiratory thing, I think we're going to be seeing more digestive type of stuff, and stuff more related to, like fluids with the body, like the blood and the lymph, and that stuff kind of crystallizing and hardening. So we just want to not go overboard, just in moderation. Be aware of that, okay? Oh, now I'm getting warm. Okay, so those were the quick full moon aspects. I talked about that. Oh, the other thing with this Terrascope with Donald that I was like, what? First he says he's the devil, and then his flipping secrets he has are death. Like, why is death the secret? Are you just trying to kill something like a bill or, your taxes? Or like, whenever I see this, I'm like, is death death? Or is it just the ending of something? Because it's hard to tell with these characters. Hidden enemy, the Five of Pentacles, that vote suppression. These were the two most critical cards that were glaring to me, these things. Okay? Now, what happened? Now let's get to the hard part. You know what? I will say this started yesterday as I was going through this stuff, really trying to drill down. Was the degree to which the elections are rigged. I was back looking at voter suppression. I was looking at voting machines. I was looking at the voter rolls. I was looking at hacking. I was looking at the microchips and election machines. Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. Where did that all start? Because this gets really interesting. And the United States Postal Service. Essentially, we have got DEJOY working kind of directly with the whole Russia hacking election thing. He's also working KY Jelly. He's got like an open door to her with obstruction of voting. He also lines up with micro-targeting in social media. He's in a lot of trouble. He doesn't know it because he's kind of not very smart. He works a lot with getting information to Mitch in partnership and working with the Republican Party and databases, because what I was getting as I was going through this, he is able to dive deeper with information related to voters, addresses, and information so that they can finer tune the Republican Party on how to suppress the vote and identify people. And I was really shocked to see how intimately, look at Mitch. Income gains, values the Three of Swords, creating heartache. That's his value. Well, he's the only person that lines up with our voting machines with the Three of Swords, heartache, and China. Those three lined up there. Mitch also with the elections, like he's like right at the heart of this stuff when it comes to like the voter rolls, transmitting information, like with Elaine Chao, because she's kind of the one who transmits stuff, money, payment, databases. Once again, looking at North Korea, looking at Kim Jong-un, he's just not really around, you guys. He seems more like a memory, because KY Jelly, his sister, because I don't know her name, that's what I just call her, she's like lining up with people again and again. Here, who's this? She's lined up with, she's targeting Black Lives Matter people. They're working really hard to target and find out who those voters are with Black Lives Matter and working to target them and suppress them. She lines up here. This is actually much worse now that I've looked at this some more. She lines up directly with Facebook. This Five of Pentacles is very important with suppression of vote. And the timing of, she lines up, in micro-targeting, she lines up with all of them. She's crazy. She seems like she's really pissed off, and they're like trying to, kind of like she's in timeout. She can't talk to anyone, but she has to do all this work. It's really weird. And so then, of course, I'm seeing the Seven of Cups all over the place, which has to do with their little secret with elections and voting involvement with North Korea and China. And then this Eight of Cups keeps showing up again, setting something up. I'm like, well, what are they setting up? What are they setting up? So I just kept going through elections. What about my business today? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what? Beirut. Godspeed, Beirut. And the 71 and charges in the unsealed indictment against the money launderers, organized crime in Saipan. You guys, this is massive. Saipan, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands. That thing was unsealed today. There's 71 charges. I don't know who else is. I haven't read it at all. But as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, is this why this happened? And then I happened to look at, do you remember, I mean, it's just, you can't remember this stuff anymore. That guy in the plane the other day, his plane collided with another in midair and he died. You know who I'm talking about, right? Oh no. Holy crap. Oh my God. What are you guys doing? Thank you. You know who I'm talking about though, right? That guy, that's his name. Gary Knopp died in that plane crash. So I just threw a teroscope. What does Washington, D.C. know about his plane crash? Then I threw a teroscope. What do Russians in D.C. know about his death? And holy crap, they knew a lot. They knew the reason why his plane crashed. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. An oligarch. Someone with a lot of money. Elaine Chao, Betsy DeVos, someone like that. Ivanka, Mercer. The Russians in D.C. knew, in lands far away, about the oligarchs. The Russians knew it related to Donald as an unindicted fool. And the Russians' values are that his communications about the money burdens of the White House, they can't have that. So that came in there. And that, I think this guy might also be related to what's going on with this indictment with Saipan, Guam, and the Northern Mariana Islands. Okay, Saipan, Trump casinos are there. When I saw Northern Mariana Islands, I knew this is why, I suspect this is why this happened today with the explosion related to this. Because that's where we have Trump casinos. That's where there's a lot of... That's where like a lot of the troll farms are housed. That's a lot of money actually through... Oh, this is the other thing that was going on. A lot of money goes through USAID to those areas to pay them. And by the way, yes, USAID, their acting director guy, he is in so much trouble. Pelosi is all over him. This is why that whole stupid Jacob Wohl story, whatever was going on with, I don't know, someone said something. That's not the real story, you guys. It's what's going on behind the scenes because USAID and their new acting guy has had lots of towers and problems. And this has been going on for a couple weeks and Speaker Pelosi knows. So when Donald ran in the primaries, did you know that on all those Super Tuesdays, he never, ever won a majority of votes, meaning 51% or more was my standard, for like 2 months. And by the time he did, or, you know what, it was this one, Northern Mariana, that I didn't count as winning a majority because he won like 90% of the votes in the Northern Mariana Islands. And that was his first big win. And then he didn't win anything until people started dropping out. I'm like, what the heck does he have going on here? Well, a couple years later, now I understand that's where all of his business is. That's where they're laundering everything. That's where they're getting money to Putin and all of them. Whoever sanctioned, it's like USAID or these casinos. There are former governors and generals and people in the Republican Party who have, and I think Rick Rendell, Democrat governor, I think he's involved in this too. He's got a little gig going on here too. So this is a big problem, and the FBI did some busts out here, I think like in early 2018. So today, this was unsealed, and this happened. Horrible. Are you guys still with me? Let me check in with you. Good morning, Pauline. Good morning, Larry. Yes. Okay, good. So, this is a very late night reading because I have to keep all my thoughts together, because when I go to bed, this will never come together again, okay? So you're still with me. Okay. So then today, I caught a little blurb about, I think Donald was being interviewed about something, but then he was like, hey, there's an explosion in Beirut. And right away my radar was like, you did it. You did. I know you did it. I'm like, why are you saying that? And so like my head was ready to just explode, because I'm like, you idiot. Yeah. I mean, it was just the tell. So before I started throwing teroscopes, look at this. Now these are his astrological grubby fingerprints. This is the chart. You know what? I'm going to get cards. I was saving this to do this with you guys. This is the chart. They said that this happened a little bit after 6 p.m. in Beirut. And right away, I'm looking at this and I'm like, holy crap. Because I'm the ascendant, the thing that gave this life, 17 degrees Capricorn. Now, you guys, I know you're well versed in the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. 17 degrees Capricorn was at the top of the chart on January 12th over Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C., basically in that area, within about 200 miles, maybe, square miles, had 17 degrees Capricorn on the midheaven. Nowhere else in the world at that exact moment. It's on the ascendant here. So right away, I was like, Washington, D.C. is involved. Better yet, Donald is involved. We have this strong square. Mars is at 19 degrees Aries, squaring Jupiter, 19 degrees Capricorn. Mars, Jupiter's all about military and attacks and puffing oneself up and getting all, I'm going to blow you up. That stood out at me. 27, 28, 29. There's more. I will tell you what they are when I get to them. But that stood out to me the most prominently. Let's get some astrology cards, because I didn't get to do this part yet. Okay. Oh my goodness. Thanks, you guys. Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you. You're deeply appreciated. Yes, this is big craziness, and I had to do this. There's no way Spirit was going to let me sleep. I have been holed up here in my office. I was like rude to my father-in-law. Came over earlier today. My daughter made dinner. I'm like, I'm working. But I had to get this done. So let's look at the teroscope over Beirut. Okay. Oh, goodness. Yeah, this is just going to get juicy. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Where's my little sign? This is for entertainment purposes only. There's, oh my God. Okay, here. And then I said, when I knew that this was, crap, these a-holes just piss me off. So then when I decided this came from Washington, D.C., I'm looking at this second house cusp because this area, the second house, remember that has to do with money you get, incomes, gains, your values. On the cusp of the second house there over Beirut, the powerful money point now is, oh, it's 28 degrees. It's actually like 27 3/4 of a degree. Aquarius. At the Saturn-Pluto conjunction over Washington, D.C., Venus was exactly 28 degrees Aquarius. And by the way, the U.S. natal chart, the moon is at 27 degrees Aquarius. So that's why I knew Washington was involved and it was for money. It was for a payout. That was screaming out loud to me. I cannot see very well. Oh, and then here we have, 27 degrees, you say? On the attack of your opponent, Donald's Mars is right on the cusp, and then his ascendant sign is right there. So there's Donald attacking. It's just, he has his grubby, fat fingerprints all over the place. Okay. So those things stood out at me, but there's a lot more. Just wait for entertainment purposes only. Just wait till you see. I just run out of words. Okay, so at the astrology cards, I need to know the best cards to describe what happened to the observer there, all that is, what's going on. Oh my God, Sagittarius, I see. That is always Putin. Always. And in our full moon chart, he occupies the fifth house of the sun. The fifth house meaning the president. So Sagittarius, things that are big, but Sagittarius means lands far away, law enforcement, faith, justice. Truly, if this, well, and it's a gas explosion, I think, or there was some sort of and again, here we go, the fertilizer Russians. If this was truly just an explosion, I would have expected to see Uranus here, sudden, or Mars, the heat, the activity to make it go pow. No, we see some Yahoo from lands far away in a different country. What's the secret related to the explosion in Beirut? The Jupiter return. Benefits. Okay, crowning Washington, D.C., I have to find this. We have Jupiter. Abundance. An abundance of stuff. But, better yet, the secret is the Jupiter return. It came back and it gave them benefits. Can you believe this? Can you flipping believe this? I need a pen before I start throwing this by accident. Sagittarius. By the way, Jupiter rules Sagittarius because, so it's like the secret and the act. bordering the secret and the action who you are. It's like it's wrapped up, that whole location, with a really big plan from far away with more than one actor. That's just the way I see it. And this is for entertainment purposes only. Hopes, wishes, friends. Oh, look at. Here's Sagittarius in the area of hopes, dreams, wishes, friendship. Look what we did. Oh, whoops. The 8th house, that's shared resources over here. Oh my God, and that's Virgo. That's this has been showing up all over the place. They were investigating and analyzing together how to pull this off. So we have the 8th house, beginnings, endings. So we know that what happened was a shared project. Crowning Beirut. Oh, there you go. Aries, I am. Aries is ruled by Mars. I thought that should be on the ascendant, what was happening here to spark an explosion. But this explosion was in the skies for everyone to see. It is ruled by Mars. We have Mars down here again, squaring Jupiter. Jupiter. Military might. I am mighty. This is so sickening. This is just... beginnings and endings. That was a hope and the dream and the wish. You go over here. Virgo. Analysis. Virgo is how Washington, D.C. identified and defined itself. And Donald said he was the devil this week. Lands far away, Beirut. Taurus, I have. Taurus is a money sign, so lands far away, got some money and some gains. Oh my God. Okay, I have over 54 cards in this deck. Look at all these that are showing up. Lands far away from Beirut. Taurus, I have. This is in the 9th house. This is the 3rd and 9th house axis. They create an axis where they share their polarities. Like you, the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere. We get the 9th house, the 3rd house. In Washington, D.C. in the 3rd house, Taurus, I have. I just can't make this up. 8th house, shared resources, is Virgo. Intercepted. Tenth house, world. The whole world watched it. The whole world knows it. It affects the entire world. And that, it was in the week before, that was right here with partnerships. So what happened in Beirut with partnerships? 3rd house. 3rd house messages. Taurus, I have messages in the 3rd house. That was the partnership. I mean, how much has this been showing up lately? A lot. So that's the partnership. 6th house, day-to-day routine. Military investigations, public servants. The sun and spirit. Revelation. that's kind of, do we have Sun in Spirit? Oh, here, okay. Sun in Spirit. The Sun is ruled by Leo, okay? This is the sign of Leo. The Sun is in Leo. The 6th house, this feeds the 7th house of partnership. So look to the Sun. So if someone, public servant, look to the Sun for my partnership. And what is over Washington, D.C.? Leo, I will do this. Oh, God. Sun Spirit in Washington, D.C., we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is also ruled by Jupiter. Which is, oh my God. 5th house of the Sun, over Beirut. Your leader got eclipsed. Solar eclipse revolution. This, I said on the first day of spring, the entire summer would be eclipsed because we had a new moon solar eclipse on the first day of summer. The leader of Beirut got eclipsed. And once again, solar means the sun. I have traced back my teroscopes going to June 21st, and you can see it right there. It got accelerated right after G. String Maxwell got arrested. So here, the 4th house is about defenses. Look at, there's that planet Uranus right there. That explosive. This is the planet that has to do with catastrophes. I think last time I read, I was concerned about catastrophic things happening. Sudden, shocking, catastrophic, out of the blue explosions. 4th house. Beirut defenses we have. There's Donald. Cancer, I feel this was on the ascendant, giving DC life. Third house, messages. Communications, we have the earth element, stability. That is very interesting to me. Last week, on the ascendant, we had earth and stability here. We took a break from the chaos of the Portland protests, the passing of John Lewis and his funeral. Things stabilized a little bit last week to get their footing, and now here it shows up with Mars. That's how they're getting there. Why would this attack give them stability? I have an answer for that later. 2nd house, income gains values. We have, my God, South Node, the life's debt. So someone, okay, that's very interesting. Someone has some debts. This South Node of the life's debts just started showing up. In fact, when I was looking at all the lunations, it all started at, like, for 2 to 3 weeks, the North Node, life's purpose. And then the last 2 weeks, it switched to South Node debts. So someone had a purpose in Washington, D.C. to pay off some life debts. This is it. What happened in Beirut was for someone else. God. And on the thing on the ascendant, it's supposed to be giving Beirut life, is Pluto, the planet of transformation. It rules life and death, destruction. Pluto also has been showing up. It's not in this chart here at the full moon, but the 2 weeks prior. This has been in the plans. And Saturn return. age. Saturn returned, the truth showed up in the 9th house, lands far away. Oh my God. Oh my God. The truth showed up. That's why there was the explosion. I will show you. I'm getting to the truth. I'll get there. Can you guys believe this? This is crazy. That's on the ascendant. How are you doing? Hi, thanks, Jan. Hi, Jima. Yes. Oh, 45 say, oh, we were attacked? I think he said that he talked to some of his generals and they said it was an attack. He didn't talk to his generals. But Donald knows it was an attack because this was his attack. He feels like he was attacked because of these unsealed indictments that happened today. And something else I can't remember off the top. I can wait till you see this. Okay. Let's get some tarot cards. Hello, Crow Tarot. Oh my God. I can't get to that part yet because we'll get it. Okay, Crow Tarot. As the observer, what happened? What is the most important thing that happened? This is for entertainment purposes only. What happened? Identity. Oh, I was just going to turn these right side up because I had this upside down and Spirit just said no. Everything, it was an attack. Everything is reversed. Nothing is going forward. Oh my God, the 5 of Wands. Are you kidding me? That's another important card. Okay, so the tarot says 5 Wands reversed. Secret. Oh my God, this is right side up. The High Priestess, Trump-Russia elections, hacking elections in North Korea, and death, a hidden enemy's death. Okay, what do we have? High Priestess, death. Okay, this aligns with Donald because remember, at the full moon in Washington, D.C., his secret was death, and it showed up as the hidden enemy of Beirut. This is Donald's doing for entertainment purposes only. Beirut, 11th house, hopes, wishes. The Knight of Pentacles. The hopes for those good things. Exchange, commerce. Turned on its head. There goes their commerce. And they're going to want to avenge this. Crowning Beirut. Judgment. Beirut was judged. That's why this happened. And all these yahoos, this is a very active card for them personally. So Donald and company are facing major judgments. What's going on in Beirut? Lands far away. The 8 of Swords. Someone's going to jail. And that could be blinding the voters from being able to vote. Shared resources. The Knight of Cups is usually a supported person. Shared resources, they do not support Beirut. It's a setup. So someone supporting another one. We've got shared resources, and on this, more than one country. More than one person. What's the partnership? And what happened over Beirut? We have who's in partnership. We have the Knight of Wands. Someone took action. Yep. 6th house. Public servants, day-to-day military. The 9 of Cups. This is the Trump crime syndicate. Trump organization. 5th house of the Sun over Beirut. God. The Sun is revelation. It also represents a leader or a king for a local nation. That leader has been rolled. Fourth house, defenses. 8 of Wands, incoming, fast. 3rd house, communications. The 7 of Cups. There you go. Trump, Russia, North Korea. 2nd house, income, gains, values. What do we have here? With life's debts, we have the world. For all the world to see and to put an end to something on the Ascendant, what's giving life? God, the 7 of Swords. Stealing something, but you know what? We've turned that over. Getting away with something. No, we're going to obliterate you. And overturn the Magician. Oh my gosh. That is very interesting. I was trying to figure out who the Magician was this week because it came up for several people. And one of them is Senator Richard Burr. That's kind of nice. How are you guys doing? What's going on? I can't do this. Okay, you guys doing well? Hi, Debsy. I have a moderator. Thank you. I hope I didn't wake you up. Okay, for entertainment purposes only. Oh yeah, and that whole thing about how Donald, even though he's like, oh, I talked to my generals, they said it was an attack. He gets the first word out there, and that's what sticks. Okay. Now we have this. And we've got this mapped out. Let's go to the next part that blew my mind away tonight. Put this away. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at these charts. There's even more. I got to get a drink. Okay. So on the left, on this side, Beirut's Independence Day is November 22nd in 1943. I do not have a time for the chart. I just put in 12 o'clock noon just so I could get like the best guess as to what's going on. Because you can still like calculate midpoints and stuff and see how things are working. But I actually think this is probably pretty close to what their actual chart is because, well, you'll see. And then this was at the time of the attack. It's just like this. So I'm just trying to see what things are in common here. So I already talked about this. The 17 degrees Capricorn, that's a Saturn-Pluto conjunction last January 12th, responsible for the change in world power and structure. On that date, and I don't have that chart handy, Mars was 6 degrees Sagittarius. Mars is the aggressor. Mars is the explosion. Mars is the heat. Mars is the active war, if you want to call it active war. That was at 6 degrees Sagittarius. Here in Beirut's chart, their Mercury, their people, their neighborhoods is 6 degrees Sagittarius. So that lines up again here. We've got more happening with Washington, D.C. Oh yeah, here was the Venus. We have, what else do we have? Okay, so this one's a little bit more complex. Beirut, their Pluto, the thing that gives them their power, their charisma, their ability to regenerate oneself. That Pluto got the squeeze. Over Beirut, we have the sun at 12 degrees Leo and Volcanos, the Uranian planet, is at 1 degrees 39. The midpoint of this is 8 degrees. 9, 4.5. No. How did I get this midpoint? I might have incorporated that with another number. But we do have Pluto and their north node getting squished by that. Volcanos is exactly what it sounds like. Things finally erupting and ready to blow. Oh, God. Beirut's Independence Day. Their Hades, the god of the underworld, was at 21 degrees Aries. The transit, we have the black moon Lilith, the pain, the searing pain, being ousted, 21 degrees Aries. So it's like the devil himself came for a visit and hit them. And I say that because when I did the Terrascope, oh, I don't have it here. For this act that happened, if I had a better chart. I'm sorry, we've got too many papers all over the place. I wanted to know what happened, from a DC perspective, what happened with Beirut. And I got the devil for the first house in Beirut related to DC. Who had the devil in the first house at the full moon? That was Donald. He's never called himself the devil before. But the devil lines up right here with that when I was looking at Washington, D.C. Because I did that right after I did the Terrascope for Saipan, Guam, Northern Mariana Islands, because I wanted to know how these things were related. That's where I got the devil. That's Donald. And so if what happened over Beirut is related to the devil, who knew about the devil? Look at this. When I did what DT thought about what happened in Beirut, he picked the devil happened over the 10th sky in the skies of Beirut. You know how he talks about himself in second person like nobody's listening to him? Or third person? he drew the devil for what happened over the skies over Beirut. So I'm like, who else has the devil? I'll tell you who, if I can find it. Micro-targeting has the devil. Rebecca Mercer, her area of hopes, wishes, dreams, is the devil shows up. She's so nasty. So she knows about it. Where are those little psychos? That Saturday Night Live skit. Oh. Also, 11th house, hopes, wishes, dreams. Jared and Ivanka had the devil. There. I was like, what is wrong with these people? I had no idea what this meant. I'm like, why do you guys want a devil? That's your dream. Yes, it's their dream. Oh, this Knight of Swords. Donald, regarding what happened in Beirut, in the area of communications, he said death, lots of death. So again, who does this line up with? The White House Council has death in communications. I'm like, what are you guys trying to end? Because who else has the death card? Not very many people. Who has it? I don't know why Adam Schiff has the death card here in his secrets. Maybe, I think that's probably related to elections. No, Donald has that, not Schiff. I'm sorry. It's late. The elections, if they have a secret, is death. I thought they were trying to end elections. So if you guys are joining me later, I talked a lot earlier about elections because that's where I started to go when I looked at this full moon. The Republican Party, regarding voter databases, they also had a dream of death here in the 11th house of hopes, wishes, dreams. Who else had death? KY Jelly, KJU's sister, had death in the 9th house, lands far away, ending something, or there is going to be a death. There's more death. I think I've had enough of that, though. So those were the only people that showed up with that. Then I could, how do I get back to this? That's that guy that died in the plane crash. He knew about Donald. The Russians knew that Gary knew about Donald having a sealed indictment. This is for entertainment purposes only. Well, Jared came up with that as his identity. And Ivanka came up with that as lands far away. So they're both in trouble for something that happened overseas, and the Russians in DC know about it. And that's why this guy supposedly might have had, accidentally on purpose, a plane crash. Facebook, they're on defense because they had the full card. Okay. So then, if you're still with me, I'm going to lose my train of thought here if I don't keep going and pushing this. How did I end up over here with this Knight of Swords was so important. I'm like, who is this Knight of Swords? Because it came up, it was really pivotal, but then it only showed up in a couple of places. Knight of Swords. Oh my God. Look at this. Netanyahu regarding Beirut, Putin regarding Beirut. Look at all these guys. 6 of Pentacles. Putin, Donald. Both have 6 of Pentacles, payoffs, bribes, money laundering, RICO. And then, yeah, Beirut, hidden enemy, 3 of Cups that this happened. Donald, 3 of Cups. So it was Putin, Donald, and Beirut made up the 3 of Cups. I'm still trying to figure out this Knight of Swords. So why did I mark this off? I had the Knight of Swords here, 3rd house of communications. That was like so pivotal. I forget how I got to that. But then when I looked to see what the Knight of Swords meant, this is where I started taking notes furiously. Jared's partnership was the Knight of Swords that came up for Beirut with communications. In jail. Holy crap. USAID came up with the Knight of Swords in the 7th house of partnership with also Jared. That's what I assume. Ivanka's secret was the Knight of Swords regarding USAID. It gets worse. The Knight of Swords came up with Cyrus Vance in his 2nd house of income and gains. That's intelligence. So Cyrus Vance drew the Knight of Swords, intelligence in the area of income. So did Fox News in the 2nd house of income. Oh God. Oh, this is why it showed up. Let me double check. Because the tarot said the Knight of Swords intelligence agencies were active in the 9th house of lands far away. This happened far away for Washington, D.C. So who else had that? Knight of Swords intelligence happen? Iran had that in the 9th house. Beirut had that in the 3rd house, intelligence. The Republican Party had the Knight of Swords intelligence, the 4th house of how they defend themselves. Rupert Murdoch had that in the 6th house of public servants. Saipan, wait, what does this say? Oh, Ivanka lined up with Saipan with the Fool. Meaning, there's all those casinos and money laundering and troll farms over there. So this is it. It's all the intelligence. This is how all these pieces come together with what happened, the big explosion, this massive 71, where are my notes? 71 count superseding indictment of these people. These were the agencies that were involved with this unsealed and the superseding indictment today. We have the FBI, we have U.S. Immigration and Customs. We have DHS as far as investments, the IRS, the investments, the U.S. Department of Labor, the Criminal Division of Organized Crime. All of them are involved. 71 counts. The Imperial Pacific International and MCC International Saipan executives were indicted on federal charges for Guam, Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands. 71 counts. And this thing lines up their teroscopes with what happened in Lebanon and the impressions by Donald, Netanyahu, and Putin. They all line up, and so do this guy's death in the plane, and then, of course, Jared, Ivanka, and now we've got Rupert Murdoch, we've got Fox News, we've got Iran, and just, it's exhausting. Oh my gosh, I just got the cue. You can go to bed. Oh my God. So this is what I've been hammering away at because I'm like, I know these all relate together somehow. What else do I have over here? Oh, this is me just tracing the tarot and astrology cards from each week. I don't have to show those cards because I showed you what Putin thought. Yeah. So I think this is, this is the last one. You guys are going to want to hear this. Now I got to find it. I think I might just have to tell the story. Where is it? Okay, so I'm not going to go through this, but trust me, in Donald's natal chart, his solar arc, his solar return lines up with these critical players. Add mitos. This is the story I have to tell you. Oh gosh, let's see if I can remember it. Yes, yes. Okay. Oh, I wish I could show you. It lined up with... Anyway, so Admetos, this is what you're going to like. This is what you're going to like. Is a Uranian planet when you look at Uranian astrology. In Greek mythology. There's a positive and the negative when it comes to this guy. I'm not an expert. This is the very gist of it. That he is so powerful that he can transform things and heal. At his worst, he's about blockages and disruption and just the status quo and stagnation. This is prominently in Donald's chart, the placement of Admetos and what happened here in Beirut. But the reason why this guy is known is because he was on his deathbed and an agreement was thought out. And to me, just reading that part about how he was going to die, he's on his deathbed, and the only thing he can do for a longer life is to negotiate to have someone take his place, but nobody will take his place. So he then lives an awful life. I know. Just a second. And then he lives an awful life. And then they were saying, Admetos is like Mercury and Taurus. If you want to look at astrology, the properties of Mercury, thought, communication, and Taurus. Getting stuck. And then they said, like the tarot card, the Five of Pentacles. Hello, the Five of Pentacles is my card for Julian Assange, voter suppression, people denied at the border for immigration, people being left out, our shutdown, people not getting money, being turned away. Oh my God. And the way that was angling, I want to say it was like, it lines up with that chart when I said the beginning of the end of Donald was on the January 21st, 2019 eclipse. And this was the final story that was told to me in Greek mythology. So I think it all goes together because this Five of Pentacles, did it show up in this one? No, but we all know this Five of Pentacles has to do with voter suppression and tampering with the elections. So, that's it. I think I'm done. Oh my God, it's so late. I am going to have probably the most restful 5 or 6 hours of sleep I've ever had because my body just finally relaxed and I got to tell this story because now my brain can forget it and now it's going to be forever up on my channel. Okay. So, how are you guys doing? Aw. Mind blowing. I know. Isn't it great? Crazy. Heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. Yeah. So this is what I just had to do this. Yeah. It's crazy because we're not. This is how I'm able to keep track of stuff week to week. Because if I didn't do this, I would be so lost. And I know that this is the gift to kind of keep us all organized and looking and having our eyes on the prize. That's all. So that's it. Okay. So I'm going to say good night, you guys, or good morning, wherever you are. Thanks so much for showing up. It was last minute just because I had to get this out there. Okay. You guys have a great day. We'll check in soon. And thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I feel so relaxed. Like, I know I'm going to have a very happy night of sleep. Okay. Yes. Good night. Yes. Yay. Okay. Okay. Good night. Sleep tight.